Welcome to a virtual birthday party for a travel company. Have you ever been to one before? Well, if not, then we have something in common because neither have I. And if you're anything like me, you're in need of a good time. And let me promise you one thing right now. A good time is what's in store this evening. My name is Stephen Brees, and I've worked for Cobblestone for 5 years, and I'm pleased to be your MC tonight. Let's kick this party off right with a collab performance by Edmonton-based Ukrainian shumka dancers and the Detroit-based Ukrainian bandurista. Oh, and you can get 10% off our scheduled departure tours right now until November 20th. Book it now until November 20th and save a mitt full of cash. All right, let's hit it. Welcome back. And if you're just joining me, welcome to Cobblestone Freeway Tours' 10th birthday party. A few housekeeping items before we really get started. Bathrooms are out the main doors and to your left. Fire exits are on either side of the stage here. And please remember, if you're having a few drinks this evening, find a safe way home. Or come and chat with me at a break, and I have some taxi vouchers to hand out. Tonight, we are celebrating 10 years of connecting travelers with music, stories, song, and dance from the places Cobblestone travels to: Ireland, Croatia, Poland, Georgia, and Ukraine, to name a few. And we have some guest performances from some of these places. But before we do, we're going to head down memory lane because, according to an old Ukrainian saying, to know where you're going, you have to know where you've come from. And also, it's just nice to hear some people say nice things about the things you love to do. Namely, giving travelers the opportunity to make a real connection with the people in the places they visit with us. And you have to do it with us because, of course, you can travel on your own to any of these places. But good luck trying to invite yourself into a village for a home-cooked meal with a sing-along after dessert. That only happens with us. But you don't have to take my word for it. Without further ado, I present to you travelers from across 10 years of Cobblestone Freeway Tours.
My name is Paul Olinik.
My name is Christina Frickus, and I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba.
Hi, I'm Joe Welischuk.
My name is Carolyn Welischuk.
I'm Cheryl Olinik Semenyuk. I'm a pharmacist, and I've been on 3 Cobblestone tours.
My name is Donna McLean.
My name is Bogdan Bahniuk. I'm a native Edmontonian, born and raised, but my parents came from Ukraine.
My name is Shane Gibson. I'm the artistic director of the Teresa Ukrainian Dance Society. I've been on 6 or 7 Cobblestone Freeway Tours.
I have been on a Cobblestone tour about 10 times.
I have been on 3 Cobblestone tours. We've been fortunate enough to be on 2 Cobblestone tours.
Actually, I met my wife on a Cobblestone tour. And it was way back in 2012. Not that was too long ago. But I met my wife on a Cobblestone tour. I met her in Kyiv. Cobblestone has a way of going off the beaten path and, putting a little adventure into their tourism.
You get to see a lot. You get to experience a lot. So to me, it's a comfortable way for us to travel.
For the Easter tour, I was with my mom, who was 84 years old at the time, and my daughter. So it was 3 generations we celebrated Easter. It was spiritual. It was just, and to have family with me was just, it's hard to describe. I'm sorry. I just get very emotional.
I particularly was moved by being in Ukraine. It's, if that's your heritage, it really resonates with you. Hearing the language, listening to the people, kind of being being with the people that you originated from.
I went to my ancestral village for the first time. So that I met my dad's cousin's son in Lviv from having never met before, had never had any kind of a connection, and essentially got on the bus with a stranger to go to the village. And I met my grandparents' family that we didn't, up until just a few years prior, we didn't even know they existed.
The power of traveling with Cobblestone is that you get an experience you're not going to find traveling on your own.
Bukovac is still one of my favorite places because that was, every time we've gone there, we've had a great time with the family, with the Baba coming in from the garden and Jido making her sing songs that we wanted to hear that he didn't share with too many people. Such a sweetheart.
What separates Cobblestone from everyone else is it's a passion project as much as it is a business. and Vincent as an owner and the people that he surrounded himself with have a passion for the culture and for wanting to share culture with the world. And it hasn't just been limited to Ukraine, but, starting to delve into, the Balkans and Poland and Ireland and everywhere else that Cobblestone goes. I think Vince's own passion for understanding folklore and tradition, is very apparent in the company he built and the type of tours that he wants to share with people. And it's very obvious that things aren't carbon copy, that, things are very much a unique experience every time you go.
I love the hotels. They're little bed and breakfast hotels. There is lots to do. There's a coffee shop. There's drinks to be had, a bar to be seen up on a rooftop.
It was great to sit in this restaurant. Beautiful groups, like the groups entertained us. But we had more fun sitting in some guy's kitchen, listening to him laugh and giggle and tell us stories, or his wife coming up bringing, the 13th plate of whatever it was that she was serving. And we just had the pure enjoyment of people enjoying life.
It's a very personal tour. The tour guides are very accommodating and it's very personal.
You're just so well taken care of. Like the accommodations that you stay in. Like when I took my Supilka group in 2018, like they were like, excuse me, we're staying at what hotel? Like this beautiful hotel is where we get to stay. And this is the food that we get to eat. And this beautiful bus is our bus that we get for 2 weeks. Like everybody's just kind of sort of blown away.
And people just seem to be enjoying the moment and not rushing to the next one. And that's very much what the Cobblestone tour was like. We enjoyed every moment and we did not rush to the next one. We took our time. We saw the most spectacular places. There was a restaurant that we went to that didn't have prices on their menu, and we had to barter with the waiter to determine the price of the food, and it was so entertaining. Where would that ever happen anywhere here that we could travel in Canada? So some of these little experiences that we had were just priceless gems. Just priceless gems.
Absolute gems indeed. Ukrainian dance and song. It's what started Cobblestone Freeway Tours 10 years ago. A mission to connect travelers with unique cultural experiences in Ukraine. Now, over the years, Cobblestone has remained true to that vision and has taken this approach to travel to other countries, including Ireland, Poland, and Croatia. And you can travel to these countries for less by booking during our anniversary sale and receive 10% off the tour price. The sale starts right now and runs a week, and you can book a tour this summer or next. Head over to cobblestonefreewaytours.ca to choose your next culturally rich getaway. Just like me, you might be wondering, why does Cobblestone Freeway Tours have the name it does? To get an answer to that question, we'll turn to founder and CEO, Vincent Reese.
Well, I had been traveling to Ukraine quite a bit in the 90s. In fact, I went to Ukraine for the first time right after the breakup of the Soviet Union in 1992, and I started going back more and more often to study Ukrainian folk dance and language. And over the years, people would ask me to help them organize a little trip. And in 2001, I organized my very first trip for a dance group to go to Ukraine. And every couple of years, someone else would ask me to help them organize their trip. And it was fun, and I got to go to Ukraine, and I got to practice my language and visit with friends that I had made over there. And by 2011, I started to realize that, maybe there's a need for a company that takes groups on tour back to Ukraine. So in 2011, there was a group of people that had contacted me and said they want to go to Ukraine, but we needed more people to fill the bus. So I had to create an advertisement about a tour to Ukraine, and we didn't have a company name. So I had to think of, when I travel to Ukraine, what's the image I have in my mind of travel in Ukraine? And the first thing that popped into my head was the cobblestones the cobblestone streets of Lviv. Because when I had lived in Lviv, that was sort of the magical pathway that I would walk along every day, going to and from rehearsal or to and from the university or to and from the downtown. And those cobblestones, I could just see myself walking along those cobblestones. It was the first image that popped into my mind when I thought of traveling in Ukraine and in Eastern Europe in general. So we thought about cobblestone freeway, cobblestone highway, cobblestone pathway, cobblestone road, and cobblestone freeway was the one that just flowed. And I like it because it's a juxtaposition between sort of a freeway is contemporary, it's the new world, and cobblestones are the roadways and the pathways of the old world. And I like that juxtaposition. And it's very much like what our tours are like. We have modern comforts, but old world traditions. And I like that, how it sounded, and it seems to resonate because when people get on the bus from the airport in Lviv and they're driving into the old town, a lot of people will say, oh, now I know why you called it Cobblestone Freeway. It just clicks with them because as soon as you're on those old cobblestone streets, you feel that rumble and you look around and the old buildings and the atmosphere of that medieval old world city just clicks.
Something else that just clicks is how cobblestone's approach to travel works in Ukraine, but also in so many other old world countries like Ireland, Georgia, Croatia, and Poland. Traveling the old world in a new way with modern comforts while still getting to explore the heartbeat of a nation, its culture, has been Cobblestone's recipe for success. And over the years, we've had many dance groups travel with us. One of those groups is Pavlichenko Folkloric Ensemble from Saskatoon, Canada, who happens to have a greeting for us.
Hey Cobblestone, happy 10th anniversary from PFE. Thanks for all the great memories and can't wait to tour with you again.
And our bow to you folks, 7, 8. Happy anniversary!
To continue in the spirit of folk dance groups, this evening we have a special performance from Polonia Polish dancers from Calgary. And since we travel to Poland, who better to remind us of the rich Polish cultural heritage than these dancers? Enjoy. best way to experience a place is through its people. And the best way to get to know a people is when you have a chance to eat with them, spill your drink on their table, dance with them, and sing out of key with them. Our birthday party continues with a cultural mashup. All of the footage you're about to see has been captured on Cobblestone Tours over the past 10 years, and you're going to see singing and dancing from across Europe. I invite you to try to guess where each musical tradition is from. You'll see the answers on the screen as we take this cobblestone cultural journey from Ireland all the way to Georgia. Let's go.
Свята святкувати веселого звичаю, веселого звичаю.
Each and every Cobblestone tour comes with cultural experiences like the ones you just saw. If you're planning your next holiday this summer or next, I invite you to travel with Cobblestone to Poland, to Ireland, to Croatia, to Georgia. There are dozens of tours to choose from. Just head over to our website to see all the departure dates for 2022 and 2023. But now let's head back to 2011, when this all began, and to find out exactly how this all began.
The first tour was really interesting, and that was 2011, and there still wasn't a lot of tourists to Ukraine. And we had a small group of about 12 or 13 people, and we traveled from Kiev, and we went down to Odessa, and I've got this great picture of everyone on the tour in the Dnipro River up to their knees, waving at the camera and remembering, you know, their stories that they had heard about the Dnipro River from their grandparents and whatnot, or in poetry of Taras Shevchenko talking about the Dnipro River. So to have the chance to dip your feet in the Dnipro River, or then when we went to the Black Sea, they had the chance to dip their feet in the Black Sea, and we did a wine tour down there, which was just, you know, for them very unexpected, because I think what they imagined Ukraine to be and what it actually was quite interesting. And even now, lots of tourists, lots of travelers tell us they're very surprised about how modern and cosmopolitan and multicultural that Ukraine is. It's a real shock to them, because I think a lot of them think of Ukraine as sort of a backwards country from the old world, and my ancestors left for some reason. But when they get there, they realized, oh, wow, things really have changed in the last 20 years. They're really pleasantly surprised. So after Odessa on the Black Sea, we went to Chernivtsi in Bukovina, which is right on the Carpathian Mountains, below the Carpathian Mountains on the Romanian border. And a lot of people came from Bukovina to Canada in the early part of the last century. And so that was kind of a neat culture for them to see and interact with. And then we went to the Carpathian Mountains to meet with the Hutsul people, which we still do all the time, and it's a real highlight. But one other thing that I forgot to mention was a lot of people have ancestors, or they have heritage, or they have roots in Ukraine, but they may not know where their family's village is or where their ancestors came from. So when I first started traveling to Ukraine, I actually researched my Gido's village, and I made a connection with people there. And so what we thought we'd do, well, let's stop in my village, in my grandparents' village. And we took the whole group to the village of Tulova, which is on, it's a quaint little village on the River Prut. And we took the entire group there, and we had a meal, and the local people came out with bread and salt, and we sang, and they played the accordion, and we sat around and did shots and had a big dinner. And so it gave people a chance to see what local life was like, and for them to imagine what their ancestors may have lived like way back then, or what their life may have been like had they stayed in Ukraine. So it was a real special moment, and it was a real highlight of the tour, and we've kept that as part of our tours now, even to this day. Even when we go to other countries, we try to make sure we have a rural experience with local people, because that really helps people feel connected to the place.
Indeed, connecting travelers to local people is what makes Cobblestone Tours special. If you've been on a tour to Ukraine over the past decade and have visited Kyiv, you may have connected with a special group of artists, Rozhenitsia. They have delighted travelers with their storytelling, charm, and their love of sharing Ukrainian traditions. They recorded this video in honor of our 10th birthday. I bring you Rozhenitsia.
Хай ваша хата буде завжди радістю багата, хай красується добром, медом, пивом, ще й вином, ще й смачними пирогами та веселими піснями.
There's that magic. They are special even if we're not in person and only listening to them online. Well, thanks for joining me this evening and celebrating 10 years of travel with Cobblestone Freeway Tours. Our birthday sale starts right now, and if you want to take advantage of 10% off any of our scheduled departures for 2022 or 2023, just book by the end of November 20th. Now, if none of those dates work for you, Cobblestone can also custom design a tour for you. And now, to take us off into the night for one more number, here's a very unique birthday song from Rozhenitsia. Thank you again for joining me. Good night, and I hope to see you soon on the Cobblestone Freeway.